Hello, so today I'll be speaking about my poster. It's Drug Poisoning Prescription Drug Overdose by Geraldine Ruffin. To start off, there is a little graph in the center. It says nearly 450,000 people have died from an opioid overdose in 1999 towards 2018. In the 1990s, it marked a rise in the prescription opioid overdose deaths. 2010 marked a rise in heroin overdose deaths, and 2013 marked a rise in synthetic opioid overdose deaths. So in the 1990s, the RX opioids include like natural, semi-synthetic, and methadone, which all can be prescribed by doctors. Heroin is an illegal opioid, and synthetic opioids can include fentanyl, and it can also be illicitly made. So moving over to the left side of the graph, we're just going to speak about how a few little things for an introduction, basically like why it's important to public health and all that sorts. So for the introduction, we have like drug overdose has been increasing steadily within the United States. As you all know, we're living currently in an opioid epidemic, and due to opioids being so easily accessible, it creates a bigger risk for overdoses. So with people who are being prescribed medication and having it in places that may have a reach to other people, and people who aren't prescribed this medication can access it, or people who don't want to take it due to their own mental and emotional issues, or do take too much because of it, can cause issues. Drug overdose can happen to various communities and people, so it can happen to absolutely anyone at any time in their lives. And even like selling drugs on the streets can cause an issue for people who don't know what they're ingesting. So people who have been buying from other people that have prescriptions, or claim that they are selling drugs that they are theirs, but it's not prescribed, stuff of that sort, that can also be a huge problem because people do not know what's in these drugs, do not understand where it's from, and they are ingesting these items and these pills or these medications, however they're taking these into their body, and it is causing a problem for them. Some statistics and also like who is at risk would be a majority of ODs occur in adults that are 35 through 44, but younger people are very significantly at risk. In 2015-2016, the largest increase in drug overdose deaths were in males 15 to 24 years old. So the CDC analyzes natural opioids, semi-synthetic opioids, and methadone. Natural opioids are like alkaloids or like nitrogen-containing based chemical compounds that occur in like plants such as an opium poppy. And natural opioids also can include morphine, codeine, and thebaine. Semi-synthetic man-made opioids are created in labs from natural opioids. So synthetic opioids are substances that are synthesized in a laboratory and can act on the same targets in the brain as natural opioids like morphine and codeine, and it'll produce like pain relief effects. And some synthetic opioids can be like fentanyl, methadone. They are approved for medical use, but even the wrong amount of these medications can cause an overdose if taken too much. Methadone has also been used for decades to treat people who are addicted to heroin and narcotic pain medications. So when taken as prescribed, it is safe and effective, but when people do not take these medications as prescribed, it can be fatal. Swinging into the middle, basically just like what is it? Like what is drug overdose? Drug overdose is taking too much of a substance, whether prescribed, over the counter, legal or illegal, can be accidental or intentional, and poisoning can occur when a person's exposure has an undesirable effect. So all of these things can happen to anyone, as I mentioned earlier, and it could be from anything that you buy, whether in-store, prescribed, or from someone else on the street or someone that you know or love. Signs of an overdose would be like small constricted pupils, falling asleep or loss of consciousness, slow, shallow breathing, like a limp body if you see them, pale or blue or cold skin. So any of these things when you see somebody is very, very alarming, and the person must go get help as soon as they can when they see this. Some things that have I have in mind for like a prevention plan would just simply starting off with education. I feel like education across the board is extremely important. So ensuring that there is proper education in schools for different ages to recognize an overdose. And then we're opening up more facilities that have progressive care that focuses on bettering the community with those who feel embarrassed with their addiction and or choices, because it's not easy to go get help when you want help. And so if we open up more facilities that are open to helping people and letting people know that it's okay to not be okay and go through these problems in life and that they're not alone, that can honestly help a lot. I feel like a more welcoming community is always needed, especially when you're getting older. And improving opioids by prescribing and opioid prescribing and reduce exposure to opioids to those who do not need it in their reach. So as I spoke about earlier, like making sure that everything is not in the reach of these children or these younger teens and people don't know where they are, ensuring that people are taking medication as needed and properly, making sure that the right people are supervising. A policy that I'd like to add would be to prescribe naloxone for anyone who's a user for any overdose that may occur in their lives, because naloxone is very popular and can help reverse overdoses, and it has to be prescribed. But if there is a way to make a law, which I know is in the works, to be able to give to people who are taking drugs in case of anything were to happen, it would save a lot more people. In that sense, that was really what is going on currently in this world right now. So basically, I definitely feel like this is a really big problem and it's ongoing, and it's a huge trend in all different age groups and areas of life. So being able to get this prevention plan going and making sure that the government and schools and families and teachers and, your loved ones and your friends are safe by educating and making sure that we have the right necessary tools and opportunities to give back to the community. Thank you.